If you know anything about astrology or astronomy, you know that the Draco constellation takes up 1/3 of all the stars in the celestial body. It's the biggest constellation. Takes up 1/3 of all the stars. So when you read in the scriptures that the devil, that dragon, that serpent, got 1/3 of the stars to fall from grace. Mind you, they keep mentioning people or referring to them as stars. Just like, how art thou fallen, O Lucifer, son of the morning. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12, calls him the son of the morning. Son of the morning. Morning. Sun. Or Revelation 22:16, where Jesus is called the bright and morning star. Sounds like the sun. So I'm be talking about suns, stars, all the time, celestial bodies, not people. And 1/3 of the stars fell from grace. We talk stars falling from grace. So what's all this about? So then we go in the book of Revelations and we find out about 1/3 of the dragon's tail and 1/3 of the stars falling. And we say, what's all this 1/3 and 1/3 and 1/3 and 1/3? Well, if you break up the precessional circuit into threes, then if you divide 25,920 by 3, you're left with 6,840. And 6,840 gives you what? 18. It gives you 6, 6, 6. If you add 6 plus 8 plus 4 plus 0, you get 18. It gives you 3 6s. That's the first set. Now, if you look at the time Jesus died, 33 AD, look at the time Jesus died. Each one of these parts represents 6,840. It's the precessional circuit broken up into 3. If you look, you'll find that 1/3 of the dragon's tail is caught up in the last 1/3 part of the precessional circuit. 1/3 of the dragon's tail, just like it says in the Bible. 1/3 of the dragon's tail, because the Draconis constellation, because the planet Earth will be aligned directly with the Draco constellation during the winter solstice of 2012, December 21st. It'll be aligned with it. And when it's aligned with it, at this point, it will take up, or be aligned, the precessional circuit will be through the 3rd part, or 1/3 of this dragon's tail. It will encompass 1/3 of this dragon's tail. And if you look at the time Jesus purportedly died, okay, and he died at age 33, and you chart it, okay, in terms of his BC age, the BC and the AD, you'll wind up with this between those intervals, which would be what? 6,660. 666 again. So not only does each one of these break up 6,840, 6 plus 8 plus 4 gives you 18. 18 gives you 3 6s. But if you look at the time they say Jesus died and his return based on the end of the cycle, you have 6,660. So I start asking the question, how come I keep seeing 666? Isn't that the mark of the beast, Revelation 13:18, according to them? And you should know him by his number, 666. So I start saying, what's up with this dragon? 1/3 of the stars, the Draco constellation, takes up 1/3 of the stars in the celestial body. Okay? 1/3 of the tail is caught up if you break up the precessional circuit into threes. And if you look at the time that Jesus purportedly died, from the time he was born and his era, and the time of his second coming, you would get 6,660, 666. And I started thinking, how come I keep seeing this 666? So 2012, the planet aligns with the dragon, or the Draco constellation. It aligns with the Draco constellation. So now you gotta ask, what is this dragon? Well, if you know anything about gases, gases are emitted from all star constellations whenever the planet Earth goes through those constellations, whenever the sun goes through those constellations. Even the sun emits gases. And these gases have impressions on our mind. So these dragon gases, what if you go to the Mayan calendar, I don't know if I put it up there, but if you go to the Mayan calendar, it's a circle. And it has 4 squares. 4 squares. Each one denoting a certain cycle. Earth, wind, water, and fire. The 4 major deities. The Elus, the Nomos, the Anunnaki. Okay? And then there's Diru. The Nomos deal with water. The Elus, or Iggy, deals with the air. The Anunnaki deal with the earth. Anunnaki, earth. And then there's Diru, deal with the fire. Sun worshiping, sun god, looking at the sun. Earth, wind, water, fire. The Mayans say the last cycle is going to deal with fire. What a coincidence. Because the planet Earth is aligned with a dragon. A fire-breathing dragon, I guess. Because they said it's going to come with fire. God's supposed to come with fire at the end. The Mayans say it's going to be fire at the end. And the planet Earth is going to be aligned with the Draco constellation. A dragon. And dragons, we learned, breathe fire, according to the folklore and the mythology. Or reality. Who are the Mayans? Now we got to go into their dirty drawers. Now we got to find out who these people are. Because they seem to want to talk about the Mayans more than they want to talk about the Egyptians and the Sumerians. They seem to undermine all the darker seeds, and they come out with the weakest of the seeds. People are kind of spooked. They don't even want to say negative things about the Mayans. They spooked out. Oh yeah, because what happens, we had the Nubians, and they walked over here, okay? And when they mixed in with these extraterrestrials, they got slightly taller than the Tardanig, or the Pygmies. And they walked here, okay, from what they call Africa to over here now, present day called America. They walked here, okay? And when they walked here, they came here with their rubber trees that grow in Africa. They're producing rubber. They came over here with their rubber. So the whole Shin dynasty, or Sushin, Orientals, was suffering from Down syndrome, or what they used to call Mongoloidism, but they don't want to be associated with the disease because they used to call them Mongols. Why did they call them Mongols? Because those are the people who had Mongoloidism. Those were the retarded people. So what race wants to be known as the retarded people? When you call them Mongols, you're saying the retarded people. It's like if you start turning around and calling black people AIDS, oh, those are the AIDS people. Then we would say, I do not want to be known as the AIDS people. Change the name. They were known as the Mongols because everybody was saying, how the hell did they get 47 chromosomes? The human genome only can go up to 46, 23 matching pairs. Well, pardon me, 22 matching pairs, one unmatching pair because the gametes are sex cells, haploid type DNA. So we asked the question, who are these Mongols? Or these Mongoloids? These were your Orientals. They were dying. They are a degenerated seed. They needed to mix in, tie into the vine. They needed us. They needed our melanin to survive. In 459 AD, they came from the uppermost part of America, came on down to California in 459 AD, and they integrated with the Olmecs and gave birth to several different tribes, one of which being the Hopi. And the Olmecs ran things because they were considered to be the progenitors of society, because none of these other races would have existed if they didn't come over here and start intermingling with people. So their word was born and people respected their law because they was acknowledged as the progenitors of society. So the Olmecs made it with the whole Shin dynasty and gave birth to, amongst many tribes, the Hopi tribe. Hopi, they was named after, because the Olmecs had Egyptian background and culture, coming from Nubia, Nubians. Hopi was named after the fourth son of Heru, or Reha-Akati, named Happy. And that's why both tribes have falcons or birds as their symbol. And the Hopi tribe were told by the Olmecs, who ran things, no mixing your seed because y'all are mixed. We don't want no more people degenerating. We don't want the melting pot America will be one day. They didn't say all of that. You know what I'm saying? So the Hopis identified and entertained the notion and said we won't mix our seed. But the Olmecs entrusted them with information and taught them the ways of the Dogon. Taught them the rights of the Dogon. That's why if you look at the Hopi tribe and the Dogon tribe, you see that their rights are one and the same. What these Hopis would later do, the East Indians found out about these Hopis. They crossed the Bering Straits, and they said, we want some of that action. We want some of that information. And they mixed and integrated with them and produced your Eskimos that wound up going up north. And these Eskimos would soon produce Seminoles, or Nez Perce, nose earrings. The Nez Perce tribe. And this Nez Perce tribe, mixtures of mixtures and mixtures, would eventually create your Mayans. A composite, a composition of Nubians, East Indians, and Orientals. Your Mayans. The most degenerate of all the seeds I just mentioned. But we're not mad at them because they didn't have the most dominant genes. We're just saying this is reality. It was the most degenerate out of all the seeds. But we don't want to go to the Olmecs knowledge. We don't want to go to the Nubians knowledge. We want to go to the Mayans knowledge. They said the Mayans just got up and disappeared one day. They didn't just get up and disappear. The Olmecs ran things, and they had the backing of everybody that they gave birth to. Because everybody those days respected the people who were responsible for their inception. by way of DNA. So the Olmecs told the Mayans, listen, if y'all keep up with this so-called, this Quetzalcoatl serpent, waiting for the serpent god stuff, blood cool. But y'all blood sacrificing. And that got, y'all got to follow the ways of the Olmec rites now. We just letting everybody do what they got to do. But y'all just going freaking nuts. Because some of our children got sacrificed the other night.